Yo, what's up guys? It's Jordy back with another episode of Progression to Pro. In this episode, I'm going to be going over my last solo cash cup of the season, as well as my plans for the next season and how I'm looking forward to improve in the off season. Starting with the cash cup, the first thing that happened was I had a great start. This is the first time I've ever had this in a tournament and I felt so good. After 5 games, I was in the top 12 and I was looking really good to qual. I had an hour and 15 minutes left and I only needed about 30 points. I was looking super consistent through my first 5 games, but then in my 6th game, I died in a mid-game fight because I took too long to rotate out of my drop spot. After that, the entire tournament went downhill. In my 7th game, my fire alarm in my dorm went off, and I had to take a quick break. I came back and was forced to late rotate again into the 3rd zone, getting held and wasting almost 20 minutes to get 1 point. After that, in a very unfortunate off-spawn death, I was left with 2 matches left, 40 minutes left, and still 30 points to go to qual. In the second to last game, I got too greedy in the end game and tried to grab a rotate without looking in front of me. I got griefed and ended with only 15 points. This left me with my last game needing about a top 10 to qualify. My last game was one of my most stacked games. My off-spawn was really easy, not that many people landed there. I had the 2-shot shotgun, which I was manning for the entire tournament, and an SMG with my grapple and good meds. I had max mats as well. Unfortunately though, there was someone cheating in my game. They were sitting on top of the rave cave looking at everyone with their AUG. They got a lot of kills and one of those was me. And that's how my tournament ended. I'm going to show you my games and the specific mistakes that led to my death. First end game and my 3rd game, I died right here because I got shot out and got too scared. I used way too many mats to get back up to high ground even though I knew nobody was contesting it. Because I used so many mats, the first time somebody did come up to contest it, instead of fighting them, I went down and played scared. I was then later able to get a refresh and go back up for a height, but I had way less mats and it made it much harder to win the game. I was playing very well in my 2nd endgame. One of my main issues though is that I was not looking for enough refreshes. This left me really scuffed at the end here. After I did find this final refresh though, I messed up by not blocking my head enough. Also, if I had better awareness of where the other people were, I would have been able to know that I could drop straight down to low ground and be the only person there, forcing a pinch on the guy in the middle and getting an easy top 2 or win. third endgame played through a lot of elevation changes. It was through the Lazy Lagoon the whole time, and went up and down the mountains until everyone else was scuffed, including myself. We were all scuffed because of all the elevation changes. I picked up this med kit earlier from a refresh and was looking to play it. My wall got sprayed and I got panicked. I used too many mats, and then was later found myself in a position to pop it again, but I decided not to and go down to low ground to frag instead. If I had popped my med kit here, I could have clutched up at least 5 more placement points and possibly another kill. My final endgame in my second to last game, I was playing it very well. I had used almost no resources and was able to get into the half zone even though I had a max pull. I had used very little meds and was looking very comfortable going into the endgame. Little did I know when I was editing on my right wall that there were people looking at me. Instead, if I had looked through my top cone and then placed a ramp in front of me, I would have known that there were people looking at me and could have done my rotate far differently and been left with better meds and better health going into the last little bit of the end game. And this was my last game. Really unfortunate. The guy had like 20 kills with his AUG. Yeah, not much I could have done. Now looking at the rest of the season and the off season, my plans are to improve my fighting. That was one of the biggest issues in this cash up. The reason that I only made 4 end games is because I died a lot when I was getting pushed. Playing defensively is more my play style, and if I can work on playing defensively and never having to play aggressive, I can become a much more consistent player and consistent fighter. I'm also going to be practicing a lot of scrims with my duo and working on the new meta when it comes out. Other than that, I got really high hopes for the next season, and I hope to make some finals. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.